I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
He said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
5 of my customers have committed. That's how serious that this is.
And what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now.
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
After a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
We made a decision to go out this year in the spring. So my son will not be the seventh generation on our farm.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great time. First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for always tuning in to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. For those who have decided to subscribe, we appreciate your support. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, I'm requesting you, if you're watching us, please remember to subscribe. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers. We request you to join us in this journey to achieve this great milestone for the channel. Now, we have seen how Americans have constantly complained in this second term of President Trump. And the reason being, Trump gave them a lot of promises that they believed were going to amount to something tangible to them. They believed that the issues of economy would be sorted, grocery prices would be sorted. But then when they look at now almost a year into Trump's presidency, nothing much has happened for them. They are becoming more poorer. And when they look at their prospects, they don't believe anything good is going to come out of his presidency. Right now, there are a lot of people who have complained. For example, I have come across clips of farmers from Arkansas speaking and saying that Trump is failing them. They believed Trump would sort their major problems, but right now, they are now out begging because their groceries and the outcome from their farm produce did not really project what they expected, and therefore they are out blaming Trump for the worst kind of seasons that they have had. Is this the right thing to do? Or they're just reaping what they sow? I want to play for you this clip where they're complaining and stating their case so that you get to understand that sometimes when we try to elect a president, it is not because of the identity or how that president looks like, but it is because of the policy that this president is presenting to the people. Why did white America decide to vote for Trump with all their heart, believing that Trump was the best president for them? They believed that he was holding the white agenda, and therefore because he was a white person, he would address challenges that whites are facing in the best way possible. But right now it's turning out to be a lie, because what they expected to achieve is not coming through. Why is this happening? Let's watch some of the complaints that they have made here. Then I shall come back in the end to share my thoughts.
Good morning. What do they say? Racism is expensive.
5 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming. Jake Tester was at the meeting and now joins us in the studio with more. Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5,000 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Guarantee you they not getting no bailout. They showed us, didn't it?
Hey, Arkansas farmers, Arkansas, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You all voted to allow all of this to happen. You all raised against China. You all raised against the rest of the world. But you want China to buy your soybeans and your whatever the hell you produce. Yeah, the people that you despise, you want them to buy shit from you, right? That's not how the world works. And since you hate socialism, no money for you. Because socialism means taxpayers' money is shared. But you don't want that. So I suggest, Miss Arkansas farmer, that you pull yourself up by the bootstraps. That's what you wanted everybody else to do. And if you think the countries that you despise want to buy your produce and your hogs and your chicken and your soybeans, they're not buying American products because of your hate-filled MAGA agenda.
Arkansas farmers, it is officially your time to come take this medicine. A year ago in 2024, not unlike Kerrville, Texas, you were offered bailouts. You were offered assistance from the government in order to subsidize your farms by the Biden administration. And a lot of you voted against it. You did not want to get behind anything that had to do with the Democrats. You let the culture war invade your logic, and you let it get in the way of saving your farms. Now your hero, your messiah, has been voted into office and immediately started gutting any earning potential that you had on your farms. Between the immigration policy that is snatching up workers off of these farms with no remorse, to the tariffs that we pay for that are killing any profits that you could have made this year. Now you are all sitting here saying that you need government assistance Go figure. And some of you are saying if you don't get it, your farms will shut down. Let me ask you this question. Why is it different with this president? Why is it more acceptable to ask for this assistance from this president? Also, what makes you think he's going to give it to you? Your own governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, has been pleading for help from this man. She worked in his administration the first time, and he didn't give anything to her. Plus, his vice president has financial stake in an app that profits off of bankrupting private farms in America. I'm sorry, guys, there's no way around this conversation. Voting has consequences, and those consequences are going to be the loss of your farms.
So it looks like Arkansas farmers are in the find out phase of the fuck around and find out part.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Because farmers from all over the state of Arkansas came together to have a town hall meeting with some representatives from the government, explaining their struggles and what they might need to help them. And just as a friendly reminder, during the 2024 election, the state of Arkansas went 64.2% towards President Orange Man. But let's continue with the rest of this clip because it seems like one farmer might be having a realization as to what may be causing all of these issues.
For Brown, there's something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
Now, I'm actually glad he's making the correlation that it has something to do with the tariffs. But I've noticed a pattern when it comes to some of these people, when it comes to the tariffs, that they never make the connection or blame towards the person that actually caused these tariffs. And I'm gonna give him a major hint that it has to do with the person that won 64.2% of the vote in that state during the 2024 election. And this Arkansas farmer seems like he has a solution for this problem.
So, how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke.
Yep, you heard that right. He's asking for a government handout, which is socialism, which he says he doesn't like them, but during these past years, there have been lots of subsidies and checks going out for farmers, including bailouts that happened during President Orange Man's first term. Because during his first term, financial aid to farmers was about $28 billion, costing more than Navy shipbuilding, the nuclear forces, NASA, and even children's health insurance. So yeah, you guys do love to receive bailouts and handouts. All the while, you guys tell other people who need financial aid, such as single mothers with kids who need food stamps, that they should pull themselves up by the bootstraps, but for some reason you guys don't like doing it yourselves. And this is just another episode in the saga of Fuck Around and Find Out. I don't even know what episode number we're on, but yeah.
So I was able to get some rest. And I'm sitting here catching up on the news. And let's start with local news, being as I'm in Arkansas. It seems that hundreds of Arkansas farmers got together and had a meeting with Tom Cotton. Seems they're struggling. Really? Who would have guessed? Here's the thing. There was a gentleman on there. I'm not going to say his name. If you want to know who he is, just go fucking look at the meeting between Tom Cotton and Arkansas farmers today. And what this gentleman said, I'm sorry, I'm laying down in my massage chair. It's getting ready to sit me up right now. What this gentleman said was, Donald Trump, you looked me in the face and said, I love you. That should have been your first fucking red flag. Not along with the rest of the fucking red flags that we handed you. We handed you red flags on a daily fucking basis. Arkansas and the rest of the red states that are fucking out struggling, you did this. And you didn't only do it to yourself, you did it to the rest of us. Now you were crying, Biden is such a detriment to this country. He's so terrible. This is so bad. We have to, Donald Trump's gonna save us. Really? I don't seem to remember any fucking farmer meetings during the Biden administration. I believe you guys got a shit ton of fucking funding, left and right, from the Biden administration. And what happened when Donald Trump came in? He hooked up his fucking Tesla buddy and they ripped the funding right out from under you on day fucking one. And now you're wondering why you're struggling? And now you're asking Donald Trump, you said you loved us. Your first fault was pretending that a fucking politician loves you. And loving him back, that's another fucking red flag. The fact that this whole fucking country went berserk and bought up fucking Donald Trump American flags with his fucking fist pump and thought that that was the best thing for America. Good job, because not only have you fucked yourself, your farm, and your kids and grandkids' inheritance, you fucked the rest of America and the rest of the world, because the food that we would export is no longer going to get exported. So guess what happens? Fuck. I can't even believe that you guys are out there making a meeting, making yourself look dumb as fuck, because this is what you voted for. This is what we've been listening to for the past 200 days. He's doing exactly what we voted him for. This is what I voted for. This is what I voted for. Is this what you fucking voted for? Way to go, Arkansas farmers. Now the rest of the world can see what a fucking crock of shit this whole fucking country is.
Okay, so, Arkansas farmers got together in northeast Arkansas and had a meeting with other politicians from our state to talk about the farming crisis. The amount of comments of, this is who you voted for. It doesn't matter who you voted for. It still affects everyone, not just farmers. I can't imagine being in a place where you're trying to not only save your occupation, but to also help save, because no doubt you eat some of the food that these people are growing. Arkansas produces the most rice in the United States. So it affects you. I don't care who you voted for. Whenever I offer a lending hand, I'm not asking who you voted for. Did you vote Democrat? How dare you? It doesn't matter who you vote for. And as long as you keep up this whole, well, that's who you voted for, nothing changes and nothing gets fixed. And you stay divided just like they want you to. So, just stop commenting the little, this is who you voted for. Because you sound uneducated whenever you post that.
This is Sally Schaffner. I'm a sixth-generation farmer running for the U.S. Senate here in Arkansas to unseat Tom Cotton. Campaigning and farming aren't really all that different in terms of the number of hours that you work. But I like it. I get to talk to a lot of different people in different parts of the state. And I'm hearing a lot of the same thing. People are working hard and doing everything right and still falling behind. Not because they've failed, because the system is rigged against them. When they look to D.C. for answers, all they see is drama and gridlock. And I have heard some people say, Hallie, I like you, I like your message, but you're just gonna go up to DC and do the exact same thing. Listen, I'm not running to pass some party's purity test, and I'm not running to join a team. In fact, I didn't know that I'd be running at all, but I've lived the consequences of bad politics. I had to close my farm this year. I know what it looks like when no one's fighting for us. I am from the dirt of Northeast Arkansas. I'm not gonna forget where I came from or what I've lost. And I'm not going to DC to join a team and play a game of power grab. I'm gonna go get things done for real Arkansans like me.
So did y'all hear about the people that are moving to Arkansas? They want to build their own town. Stop it. So did you know also that now they are begging the government to help them? They want money for housing. They want money for food. I thought you were so above everyone and you can only be white to live here. Really? Use your whiteness and all that money that you claim you have and build your own town the way you said. No one cared. No one cared that you had that land, that you only wanted white people. You had to put in an application and they can deny your application because you weren't white enough and you weren't superior enough. Oh, really? So why do you need that same government to assist you, boo? That doesn't even make good common sense. And then they claim that they're so great at building and architecture and engineering, but they're not even qualified. If you look up the qualifications in their town, they don't match. So the only qualifications it looks like they have, I'm white. So did y'all hear?
I'm in my greenhouse planting some vegetables. And I'm thinking about all these farmers that's losing the farms, all them white farmers. Not the black farmers, because we donating to them. You don't hear the black farmers crying the blues, but them white farmers, oh shit, they talking about they losing their farms now because of Trump. But they voted for Trump. But they losing their farms. Right. The black farmers, you don't hear them crying the blues, right? Here's the difference. See, they wasn't dependent on the government. When you depend on the government to take care of you, my daddy told me never depend on the government. Now see, if they cut my little Social Security check, I ain't gonna say little, but because I can use that piece of coin that I worked for. You understand? I worked 32 years for my monies, for my coins. So it's mine. But I didn't depend on the government in my retired life. You don't depend on the government. No. Anyway, back to the farmers that's losing their farms. I can't even say I feel sorry for you. But this is what I'm going to do. Look here, people. Let me tell you something. Oh, look at here. This is going to be some good eating right here. You understand what I'm saying? Look here. I just grow my own stuff. Look here. That's what I'm doing right there. Yeah. So, I ain't worried about the white farmers losing their farms. I ain't even feeling sorry because they voted for Trump. You get what you asked for. You asked for the tariffs, you got them.
Hey there, y'all. First Nebraska, now cue up Arkansas. Arkansas farmers are bigly up in their fields right now. They're gonna lose their farms. Oh, golly. I would have some empathy, but after being told for so many years that not to have empathy, I don't have empathy. If only there's something they could have done, back in November 2024, so they wouldn't be losing their farms in 2025. Oh, yeah. Oh, and John Deere, did y'all hear about John Deere? They are, getting rid of a lot of their employees, tons of employees, because no one's buying their products anymore, plus tariffs. Now the farmers in Arkansas, as they grow soybean and whatnot, they used to export so many crops from Arkansas to other countries. So now other countries are being like, oh, no. Yeah, you made your choice when you voted for the felon, so don't expect us to buy any of your soybeans or wheat or corn, whatever. And by the way, how's that orange picking going? Florida? How's your construction industry going, Florida? Texas, how about your crops? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Texas or Florida, they were going to be up next in the, got to sell the farms, got to sell the orchards, nobody to work them, and no one will buy our produce anymore because of tariffs. And other countries are telling us, fuck you and your farmers. Fuck you and your farmers. Because, see, these Arkansas farmers, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, where all the farms are, they don't have anybody to work the farms and nobody to buy their stuff. And the majority of our, exports go to the country. Now it's Arkansas's turn. Yeah, step up. Come on up here, Arkansas, because I know you farmers in Arkansas are really shitting your pants right now. Like I said, if only there was something that could have been done back in November. But nevertheless, Arkansas farmers, you made your choice. You voted for the felon, and you already knew what he was going to do because we tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. He tried to tell you, Project 2025 tried to tell you, but nevertheless, you thought he'd be good for your, your farm business, with your socialism government. subsidies and whatnot. Yeah. That's not coming for you, baby. Just like FEMA's not coming. Just like people are getting kicked off their Medicaid right now and their EBT and all sorts of things because of the way you voted. I mean, I doubly don't have sympathy for you, Arkansas, because you also voted in Sarah Huckabee Sanders because you saw her on the platform kissing old orange man's bloviated or bulbous butt. And then you knew their last name was Huckabee Sanders, and y'all loved Mike Huckabee because as repugnant as he was a Republican, and anybody with an R behind their name we're going to vote for, right? I get it. Arkansas, I get it, because same here in Oklahoma. Not me. I'm Blue Dot. But then you voted in Huckabee, and the Huckabee signed a bill into law saying that since we're getting rid of all those immigrants, we can't have the immigrants because the Lord Trader Daddy, Orange Daddy, says we can't. And they're taking them out of the country anyway. So you guys, your governor signed a bill into law for child labor. So those kids can go work in the chicken houses and the meat packing plants and on your farms. Take them out of school and put them out to work there in the fields. Yeah. So if you're having a problem bringing in your crops, Arkansas, call your governor. Call your governor. And then if you have no place to sell your crops to, your soybeans, your corn, your wheat, again, soon time. It's not going to be long before it's going to be time for winter wheat. So, won't have anybody buy them then. So many farmers with their generational farms are going to go bankrupt. Yeah. And now these Arkansas farmers, they're asking for a government check. I thought they voted against socialism. I thought that was the reason why they voted for the felon, because they didn't believe in government handouts while taking government handouts. They thought, oh, he's just going to get those brown peoples and those black peoples and those women, the women. He won't touch us because we wear the red hats and we fly the flags on our tractors. We got the signs on our property, on our fence. We've been very loyal to you, Lord Trader. Why are you turning on us? Honey, he's only ever been loyal to himself and mammon, filthy lucre, money, and himself. That's all he really cares about, y'all. Literally. You thought he was going to care about you. All he wanted was your vote. And all he wants to do is grift off of you. You're going to lose your farm, your generationally held farm. And then the big companies are going to come in and swoop it up for pennies on the dollar. Who's going to be up next on the FAFO season? Let's see. What state will it be next? Could be Kansas. Oh. Isn't Wyoming having some problems too? Financial problems? I believe they are. You should have listened, farmers. You should have listened, Arkansas farmers. Yeah. And if all you can do is farm, what are you going to do when you lose your farm? And I assume some of you have like trad wives that stay home, take care of the spawn, and homeschool them and help you on the farm. Listen, I've seen old episodes of Wife Swap. I know that those farmers' wives that get up 4 o'clock in the morning and go out and milk some cows and, split wood and cook all the meals and clean the house, be the good little subservient wife working alongside the head of her household. And my wonderful husband, Jim Bob. Anyway, zero sympathy for y'all. Zero. I had sympathy and I had empathy for you when I went out and voted for you. Too bad you didn't care about your own selves. It's all about owning the libs, wasn't it? It was all about getting rid of the brown folks. Because here's the deal, y'all. Racism is very, very expensive. Voting for Republicans is very, very expensive. But don't worry. Bezos, Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel and your felon, they don't have to pay any taxes. How nice for them. How nice for them. Also, just so you know, I don't want my tax dollars going to bail you out because I'm a lib. I'm one of those liberals that you guys like are always trying to own. And I actually voted for you, but you didn't vote for yourselves. So, like I said, my empathy ended November 6th because you didn't care enough about yourself or your farms to vote for yourself. Anyway, peace, love to everybody. It's not MAGA. And sorry, like some experiences, some consequences are going to be very, very expensive.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, Arkansas farmers are frustrated with Trump's second term due to his trade policies, particularly the reimposition of tariffs on imports, especially from China. These tariffs include 20% universal tariff and up to 60% on Chinese goods, which have sparked retaliatory measures from China targeting U.S. agricultural export like soybean, a major Arkansas crop. During Trump's first term, similar trade wars led to significant losses for soybean farmers, and many fear a repeat with 53% of U.S. soybean exported to China now at risk. The Trump administration's executive orders freezing federal funding have also hit farmers hard. Programs providing cost-sharing contracts and grants, such as those from the USDA and USAID, have been paused, leaving farmers like Skylar Holden in Missouri and many in Arkansas without expected payments in 2023. Without the expected payments. In 2023, Arkansas received $15.9 million in Inflation Reduction Act funding, but 67% of applicants were rejected due to insufficient funds, and the current freeze exacerbates financial uncertainty. Rising farm bankruptcies and low crop prices add to the anger. Rice prices have fallen and input costs like fuel and equipment have soared, outpacing crop revenues. Arkansas farmers, already grappling with strained economy, face additional pressure from market volatility and international trade disputes, making it difficult to break even. Jay Coker, an Arkansas County farmer, noted that prices have been below production cost for 3 years. So looking at what they have been getting, it shows that their prospects economically have been dwindling. But then what Trump did by imposing these tariffs made the situation even worse, because they believed that regardless of the fact that fuel prices and many other things have gone up, they would reap from exporting their produce to China. But because Trump has put excess tariffs on Chinese imports, they're now having retaliatory tariffs that China has imposed on goods coming from America. And that really has impacted them negatively. Trump's immigration policies, including aggressive deportation efforts, have created a labor shortage for Arkansas farmers. Many rely on migrant workers for planting and harvesting, and immigration raids have disrupted operations. This compounds existing challenges as farmers like Jacob and Jennifer Thomas in Kansas, with similar issues in Arkansas, report financial strain and delayed expansion plans due to labor and funding cuts. So the aggressive immigration policies have also led to labor shortages, and this has impacted almost all farmers in the United States, because we know that those who have been working in these farms are immigrants, and when they are not there, it means there will be no one to provide the much needed labor for harvesting, for caring for the crops, and many other activities that are within these farms. So Trump's entrance into this presidency has become a challenge to most farmers within the United States. Finally, some farmers feel betrayed despite their strong electoral support for Trump. While they voted for him in large numbers, cuts to critical programs like $1 billion reduction in food supply programs for schools and food banks have directly hurt their bottom line. This has led to feelings of hopelessness, frustration, and anger as farmers like the Thomases see their optimism fade amid policy-driven financial insecurity. So you find that the major cause of the financial insecurity that is facing these farmers is Trump policies, where he's having serious tariffs that have been imposed on China. which is one of the major importers of soybean from America. And therefore, if you look at what the farmers have projected as their incomes, they are going at a loss because on one end, there are these tariffs that have hit their product, and therefore there is no one who is importing their products from America. And then they also have the labor shortage. They cannot have effective harvesting because these aggressive immigration policies have resulted in many farmers running at a loss because no one is able to take care of their crops. No one is able to harvest them, and therefore they have to rot in the farms. And this is a negative thing. So this really tells you that even when you are electing a president, you need to look beyond his skin tone. You need to interrogate the policies that they have. Americans must interrogate these policies. They must check whether these leaders are the best leaders they can ever have. That is it from me today. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. Please, if you've come across this channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and you are our hope in reaching this dream. Thank you. Let's meet on the next one.